Go.
All right, hey everybody, welcome back to Coach's Corner, second one for the Spring Sports Edition. I'm staff writer Ben Barkley, sitting here with varsity girls soccer head coach, Coach Bowen. Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing very well, thank you.
All right, so talk to me first about last season. A pretty good season, I would say.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, we made it to the quarterfinals. We were disappointed to go out when we did. We went out on PKs, so depending on who you ask, we lost or we didn't advance, depending on which perception you want to follow. But I thought we got just about everything we could out of our group last year. We dealt with so many injuries, and not just injuries as a whole, where at one point we barely had enough people to put on the field and had to use several JV players throughout the year just to fill all our game requirements. But also a lot of injuries to key players that we expect to rely heavy on that never really got a chance to participate. So given all that, I think we did about everything we could do. And we talked last year about merely surviving, and I thought we did that well.
All right, so now to this season. So far, you're 1 win, 0 losses, 1 tie.
We got our second win last night. Beat Riverdale the first game in the region, so 10-0 there. We beat Carrollton up at their place 1-0 last Tuesday, and then of course tied Northgate on Friday. We had a scrimmage. We didn't count in the standings, but everything went well there as well.
So to that Northgate game, the 1-1, the 2-2 tie. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't there. I was homesick, so I got to watch it on video the next time Coach Haney filled in for me. But I thought we did well. We had talked about a couple things after the Carrollton game about responding better to referee decisions and making sure that we're fighting and battling for everything and not waiting on somebody to take care of us. Waiting or wanting a referee to make a call or something like that. So I thought we did much better in that regard. We got out there, we battled. Watching the game and how it went, I think Coach Haney made some good choices at halftime and got a couple things squared away. The girls implemented it very well, and I thought we played really well the second half and just kind of mentally, not necessarily checked out, but just key moments let off and allowed them to get back to tie the game. Kind of thought it was 3 points lost, but overall I thought they did really well.
So this year the team is a little bit young. Lost a lot of seniors last year. How do you feel about that?
It is what it is. In high school, you always graduate and have new people move in, so you got to find key roles for everybody and see who fits where. I think the difference this year is we have so many freshmen and sophomores that are playing big key roles for us, like right down the middle of the field. Chloe Thompson at forward, Sarah Evans in midfield, Zoe Stelman at keeper, MJ Gagliano at center back. I mean, we got right down the center of the field, all where you really want your best players, and they've shown to be some of our best players. We're very, very young. So it's kind of a learning curve in that they all play at a high level and they do really well. But now we're playing at a high level and playing people 2-3 years older than we are. So we're constantly dealing with the bigger, faster, stronger, meaner, nastier, got a point to prove, you're just a little person, so we're going to take care of you kind of mentality that we have to fight against. So VFR Miziar is another one. Just all of them came in, just hit the ground running right from the beginning and have done great. And there's several more on JV that could easily step up and do a job for us if we needed them. So the youth is not really a problem when it's talented youth, and I think that's what we've got now. But there's still going to be a learning curve and fortunately we have several people that have been around for a long time, have been with varsity for a long time, have played on the state championship teams a couple years ago and been a part of that. So they understand what's expected and what we have to do, and they're in the process of making sure that everybody understands those concepts.
All right, so minus those new players, the young part of the team, the old part of the team, who do you think stepping up as key leaders, key players?
Well, Sarah Grace Biddle is wearing the armband, so she pretty much sets an example in practice, in the games, mentality, just everything you would want from a player as far as putting your heart and soul into what happens every day. She does that, and that's why she wears the armband. We have others, all seniors on our leadership team this year, which is a first. Makira Walton has been through battles after battle after battle, and we really relied on her last year. We thought a big loss last year in our playoff loss was the fact that she went down injured, so it kind of changed what was happening in the game for us. Kirsten Oates has been around, scored a goal for us last year in the playoffs, outside back. It's just getting back to being healthy and ready to go. And then Macy Voorhees spent all last year on the sideline, which she did not enjoy at all, with an ACL tear. So she's back and firing and ready to go. And so we have all these girls stepping up and just ready to make things happen and push hard. Lauren Avedano has been with the program for years and knows what to do and where to plug in and all that stuff. The key thing for them, even though we very much rely on them in a leadership role, is they have a much tougher job now to hold their starting spot, to hold their minutes. There's battles all over the place because now, whereas last year we, for most of the year, had maybe 10 varsity players and then some JV subs that were with us all the time. This year we've got 18, 22, 23 or more people that you could argue that are talented enough to play varsity on any given day. So we've already seen some moving around from players that had a good week one week and maybe not so good the next, or players have stepped it up and really pushed where we're kind of moving people back and forth with JV and varsity, and then starting spots. We haven't started the exact same lineup. I think twice, 2 out of the 4 games, and then others has been switches and subs, and so we just have a lot of competition for places, which as a coach you love, but maybe as a player is a little nerve-wracking because you know that every day when you step out there, if things don't go well, you might not be playing the next night.
So what have you seen so far the first couple of games, that big improving spots to be successful throughout the entire season?
We're dangerous going forward. Last year it was, we would get the ball in the right spot and just couldn't find that finishing touch, or had so many people playing out of position. At one point last year we had 7 outside backs. All 3 forwards had played outside back like their whole life. And so it was very difficult for them to make that transition at the level that we compete at. And so this year we've got people in all the spots that are used to playing, center mid, center forward, attacking forward, outside mid. They're used to playing those things. And so that gives us an automatic, a little more confidence in going forward. We know that we can get goals, and we know that if we get chances, goals are going to come. And so we actually did that really well last night. Last night, Riverdale was very much overmatched. They were the year before. Well, last night we scored, 10 goals and 23 shots. Whereas last year it just took us longer. We had more opportunities needed to get those goals, and so that it was very evident last year in how efficient we were. I think in the first 5 minutes of the game we had 5 goals on 6 shots. So it's just the girls now, when we get that clear opportunity, they know exactly what to do with it and how to finish and where it goes, and it makes all the difference in the world.
And region, I know it's a little early in the season, but what are you seeing so far? How do you think your girls are going to do?
It'll be similar to last year. There's several teams, 3 teams that are pretty overmatched. Riverdale, Morrow, and Griffin. They're getting girls out there that just want to play, haven't played a lot, or if they have played, haven't played at a very high level. So they're just really kind of learning the ropes. And then you have Fayette County, which is a very good step up from those 3. And then you have Whitewater, us, and McIntosh. And so any one of those 3 in the last 6 or 8 years, I think, other than 1 or 2 state championships at our class, it's always been one of those 3 teams. So it does make a difference. If you can compete in region, you can compete at the state level, and all things are possible. And so at our classification in 5A, if you do really well within Fayette County, then you'll do really well within the state. And so it's just a matter of us getting all our new people in there and the people who have been around and combining well enough to make sure that we have that ability to run with them and finish ahead of them.
And last question, speaking of state, you guys think you could possibly go back to winning state for the first time a couple of years back?
You always want to think it's possible. I don't think there's anything that we would look at and say, oh, this is definitely not going to happen. But there's a lot of miles between this and that celebration. So it's right now we made the good first step. The only way to get there is to win your region games. We did that. We won our first one last night, so we've taken care of everything that we can take care of so far. The next step in that process, of course, is getting better as we go forward. And the girls have been very receptive to corrections and coaching and just listening and taking it in and trying it and then coming up with their own solutions. Okay, well, that sounds good, Coach, but what about this? And so I think we're making the right steps. It's just a long way to go.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And don't forget, come out and support your Lady Panther soccer throughout the entire season. And thank you again for watching this Coach's Corner.